everybody and welcome back to my channel for another video here with me, Addict. Today I am filming a very hopefully fun and silly and slightly cool video where I want to react to the first ever video that I ever uploaded to YouTube 6 years ago. Or almost 6 years ago, on May the 11th, 2019. Back in 2019, YouTube was a different world. There were a few less simmers on YouTube in general, and I was lucky enough to have a few people start watching my Pleasant View series. But Lord, let me tell you, I don't know why, because the quality of those videos is not great. And I thought it would be hilarious to rewatch the first one and just make funny comments. Now I am also filming this video live. We are on Twitch right now and I have my Twitch chat here, so you're gonna see Twitch chat on the screen as we watch this, and I thought it would be hilarious to get everybody else's feedback as well on my first ever YouTube videos. So let me just say, okay, when I started YouTube, I'd never edited a video before in my life. I'd never recorded a video before in my life. I'd never used editing software before in my life, apart from one time at high school when in like a media class we did this random project where we had to do a video, and I remember we cut that video together using the old I can't remember what it was called, but it was like Microsoft Office's old video editor. It was actually pretty decent, this old like video editing software that used to come with Windows Movie Maker. Thank you. Yes, Nini in chat has just told me it was Windows Movie Maker. So yeah, I had no idea, okay, about sound or frame rates or resolutions. I was much less techie in 2019 than I am now. My skill level in computer literacy between 2019 and now, I would have gained like 7 or 8 skill points, okay, if I was a sim. Back then it was a 0. I was starting at 0. So please don't judge me too harshly, but I will judge myself very harshly. So without further ado, let's dive in. We are going to watch my first ever, oh yeah, it's my birthday by the way as I'm filming this video. Thank you for the happy birthday. Let's watch my first ever video with my old intro, and yeah, this will be fun. This will be great. Okay, so. Wait, that's playing really fast. Hold on. Oh. Let's put it on a normal speed. Okay, so take 2. So to start with, this introduction, I made this myself. I was quite proud of it at the time. I don't remember how I made it, but I did make this myself. So let's go. Okay, so interesting note, I actually updated this intro a little while after this, because if you listen, where the ding is, it's like quite random, and later down the track I actually updated it so it came in a little bit later and it was better. But anyway.
Hello everybody on the interwebs.
Okay, immediately, I hate it and I'm sorry. I thought it would be cool if my introduction was, you know, like memorable and like, oh yeah, I'm watching a Addict video, you know, because like I hear the hello, and that apparently was what I came up with, and I hate it and I'm sorry.
Hello everybody on the interwebs.
Like, wake up. Too bad if you were asleep.
I'm coming to you from inside Sims 2.
Let's also talk about my audio quality and the pixelation on the screen. If you look very closely, you will notice that this is very pixelated. I managed to export the video in 1080p, but I didn't actually record the video in 1080p. I'm pretty sure I recorded the video. I was using OBS. And I'm pretty sure I recorded this in like 25 frames per second or 30 frames per second. And I don't know what the resolution was, but I can tell you it was not 1080p. Because I didn't know anything about OBS settings and I didn't take the time to Google and make sure it was set up correctly. So my bad. That also does get fixed pretty quickly. Like maybe episode 4 or 5. My audio, I don't remember what kind of microphone I was using when I did this video. I don't remember testing the audio very much before I went ahead and just recorded the video. And I recorded like the first 3 episodes all at once. That's another thing that you should probably remember and keep in mind. Anyway.
It is obvious if you've seen this game before, and probably not obvious if you have not seen this game before. Welcome guys. I've been doing this for such a long time. It's a little bit ridiculous. Get online and share my nerdiness with the world. This is my favorite game ever. I got this game
Still is.
in 2004 for Christmas.
Oop.
I begged my parents.
Random background noise. Good job.
you know, gave in. Thanks, Mum and Dad. I couldn't really play it because my computer was so bad. Also, I had no money, so
I wonder how long this like story of my background with The Sims 2 lasts. It looks like I'm rambling
So after playing The Sims 2
for at least the first. When do I actually get to the gameplay? Okay, so 7 minutes. About 7 minutes is when I actually start playing the game. So that's good. Let's skip to about 7 minutes in. The video is really quiet as well, yeah. So I didn't really like test, I didn't really check, obviously, like the recording quality, the sound quality. Like, I think about this now and I'm just like, I'm face palming so bad. Like, why did I not check? Why did I not take the time to Google best OBS settings? How to get good audio. Still rambling 6 years later. Oh, you know, not much has changed. The other thing I notice a lot about my, I guess my voiceover and my commentary in general is that I'm talking a lot more kind of like this. And I remember I was feeling really weird and really stupid. Like, I felt like really just no one was going to watch these videos. I was embarrassed. I was feeling super shy. Like, I wasn't putting that much expression into my voice. So I was like, I think that's one thing that's definitely changed a lot about my videos. Now I show up for videos or for live streams and I'm like, hi, it's me. But I remember, like, I do distinctly remember feeling very awkward and really weird, just like sitting in my office talking to myself. And I was living with housemates at the time as well. And I remember thinking, like, what are they gonna think of me just talking? And I didn't want to tell them that I was starting a YouTube channel because I was too embarrassed. Dude, I do still ramble just as much, don't I, chat? Oh, well, sorry. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Let's skip to here.
As well that I got off the internet. I've edited the existing community lots because they're silly and make no sense originally.
Rambling and distractions.
So
I like telling stories. I did do a bit of setup for the YouTube series at least. Like, I built some stuff, I renovated some stuff.
Over here we have
the dog park, yep.
Park.
I even made a pet store. Good job.
And then I have also built over here the diner, which really needs more original name than the diner. Gosh, good job, Beth. That's great naming skills right there. I'll try to come up with something to make that more interesting. Then over here... Not
much of this changed, like, throughout the series. Don't think I ever visited the dog park. I don't think I did. But yeah, so apparently I give this big tour of my neighborhood, so that's good. I didn't have many default tree replacements in by the looks. Like, I'm still seeing all the ugly original Maxis trees that I now have defaulted. Looks like I had, yeah, maybe some custom trees in, but all the... And I think I had the linden trees in as custom trees. I didn't have as much CC in 2019 as I currently do.
As well.
Okay, we get it.
Sometimes it's a random werewolf that I happen to create, or a warlock, or a wizard, or a witch, or something.
What am I talking about?
And then I moved in a bunch of townies, aged them up to elders, and live up.
Was I afraid of corruption? No, I wasn't. I'm talking about the retirement center and the cemetery. The retirement center was fun. I did enjoy playing the retirement center. If you've watched the Pleasant View series, that was always a good time. Beth telling Beth to hurry up. Get to the point, lady.
I should mention that my style of play is, I think, something that a lot of you will be able to relate to.
What is my style of play?
Mostly according to what the Sims want to do and don't want to do, according to how I see their personalities and their likes and dislikes and what I imagine for them. Occasionally I'll sort of go God mode on them and I'll just be like, Matt, you know what, I'm just going to change your personality right now, or I'm going to ignore that or do this because I'm your Sim goddess, and I say so, which is fun. In this Let's Play, I wanted
yeah, that hasn't changed much. I think back in 2019, this was very much in the era of Pleasant Sims and very much in the era of like once-based gameplay sort of coming into fashion and playing with rules and gameplay systems and stuff. And I think I went very heavily once-based for a while, probably throughout this series, but then I have now sort of come back to doing more like storyline-y gameplay and more character holistic gameplay. I think if you want a good explanation of that, you should check out Kaylee83's video about her gameplay style, because mine is very similar to Kaylee's. But yeah, it's interesting to go back 6 years in time and be like, yeah, I haven't changed much.
To play through all of the existing families in Pleasant View plus Blue Water Village. I love the Blue Water Village family.
Still do.
I love running businesses. That
Still do.
Sims 2 is one of my absolute favorites.
Yep.
And I love incorporating them into the Pleasant View storyline. I sort of imagine in my head that Blue Water Village is sort of just down the road, or maybe just over that hill.
No, over that hill's downtown, obviously.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so without further ado,
Random cut. I remember, oh my gosh, I remember having so much fun with like video transitions and sound effects back in the day. It was kind of inspired by a couple of Minecraft YouTubers I was watching at the time, like Etho and Hypno and a bunch of other YouTubers that always had like a little sound that played when they would transition the video. I'm so lazy with that now. I barely put in video transitions, and I pretty much never put in a sound effect when the video transitions either. So let me know if you want to see a return of video transitions with sound effects. I know some people still do it, but yeah, it's probably a bit distracting. And I think my edits were probably a little bit random and abrupt.
to the official Sims 2 recommended order of play, which begins with this man, everybody's favorite man. I shouldn't say that on the internet. Everybody's favorite.
I think I was gonna say everybody's favorite man, WHORE there, and I stopped myself. Oh my. I like how as well I didn't read the family description. I move this around it, but then I just skip over it and we jump into the household.
Everybody's favorite man. I shouldn't say that on the internet. Everybody's favorite, lovable, attractive Don Juan. Don Lothario. Hopefully this does not crash. Oh my goodness.
I love that. Okay, I love that I instead of just cutting out the loading screen in editing, as I would definitely do now, just Instacut, I decided to try to talk to fill in the loading screen for the entire time. And of course my loading screens back in the day were quite long because I didn't have my custom I didn't have my custom content organized or compressed or merged or anything. My computer was slower and older, so my load screen lasts for ages, and I decided to try to get custom corgi. I decided to try to talk for the entire thing. Good job. Oh goodness. I don't even think I did have an SSD at the time. My computer was a lot more basic back in 2019. Definitely running on a much better machine nowadays, that's for sure.
Follow or not follow, as you so desire. So sometimes I let Cassandra and Don get married and see how well that turns out. Sometimes I do not. Sometimes I let Dina Caliente win and take over the Goth family manor, fortune and life. It's
interesting, as I'm talking about all this, in my head I kind of had this idea of how I wanted to play out Pleasant View, and if you've watched the series, you'll know that Don does end up marrying Cassandra, and I was quite surprised by it because it wasn't my plan. I didn't want them to get married, and then of course he went ahead and did it. I also was going to have Dina and Mortimer potentially divorce, and I was going to have Dina end up with Malcolm Landgrab, because they are my favourite power couple ever. And then again, if you've watched the series, this is going to be full of spoilers, by the way, but if you've watched the series, you'll know that Malcolm ended up marrying someone else. I was also going to have, Cassandra end up with Darren Dreamer, which didn't end up happening. I had all these ideas. I was saying, in this video, I'm saying, I'll just let whatever happens, happens. But in my head, I was like, no, I want this to happen in this order, and this person to get with this person, and this person to get with this person. And then, of course, The Sims always surprises you. How dare I spoil this 6-year-old video? Yeah, The Sims always surprises you, doesn't it? And messes up all your plans. That's why we love it. Okay, let's just skip this loading screen.
You have one final
T. It's called cutting in editing. There we go.
Spot to start.
This is not a useful spot to start.
Something you'll notice, just from the outside, is that I have actually edited the exterior of most of these lots.
I don't actually know if you would notice that, to be honest, Beth.
Bright, fluorescent white, which is honestly just disgusting and blinds me. So
it is a little blinding.
But here we are in Don's Lovely looking pad. Oh, I forgot to change his front door to match everyone else's. Do I want to do that real quick? Yeah, I kind of want to do that real quick.
Oh, there we go.
Alright,
Look, I
sorry about
actually
that.
cut that. Good
I
job.
just
Good
had to give him a
editing.
matching door to the rest of the lots in this area, apart from the couch.
Stop moving the camera around so much, honey.
Because
Just-
I like continuity. Nah, I find neighbourhoods in reality. A lot of the houses do.
What am I talking about? Like, what am I actually rambling about in this video? I'm so lost. I don't know what to talk about. So I'm just going to talk about random stuff. The other thing you might notice is my shiny skins. And we've talked about that a little bit in the Twitch chat. But yeah, my style has changed a little bit over the years. Don's looking pretty shiny. These skin and eyes that I was using here are a lot more alpha than I currently use.
Hi, Don. For those of you who have not had the pleasure of meeting Don Lothario yet,
those of you who had not had the pleasure of meeting Don yet, just talk normally. Like, what am I doing? Or do you guys miss ASMRT? Should I do some ASMRT videos again? It's a librarian voice. So seductive. It's Don Lothario. You feel like Don would be a little shiny in real life, just a little sweaty or greasy. Maybe. If you look at the rest of the skin, though, his abs are really shiny too. Like, I think a bit later in the video, obviously, because it's Don, he gets his kit off, so you'll be able to see the rest of him's quite shiny as well.
What a stallion.
What a stallion.
Don is from Italian heritage. His mother was Adriana, and his grandmother's name was literally Mama.
I also noticed in the background there's this, like, just high-pitched beep, and I don't know what that is. So again, sorry for not being better at audio.
That has all of this tier of the family tree Sims living in it. I just think that would be amazing. And just, like, play their lives and stories and see what happens. Because the Sims exist, right, in SimPE somewhere, so surely you could extract them and chuck them in the game somehow.
Yes, and I do now know how to do that, and I did do that because I made some family portraits later down the track.
Anyway, yes. So, Don is quite a good-looking man, in my opinion. He definitely has very strong genes.
In these days, in editing, I edit out every single time I go, and I remember part of becoming a YouTuber was actually I was making a conscious effort in everyday circumstances and especially while filming videos to say less often. If you ever record yourself speaking, you may be shocked by the amount of times you say without realizing. It's just one of those little things that I noticed that I really made an effort to improve thanks to YouTube. The other thing similar to that I noticed that I did and consciously tried to stop doing was this little thing I would do with my mouth where I would go before sort of saying a word. So in between words I would just make this little click sound, and my mum does that, and again my sister does that. And I learnt to recognize the little boop in the sound bar when I would do that and just cut it out. But it's just interesting, like these little things that you wouldn't really notice about yourself necessarily or pick up about yourself, which you do when you start recording or filming yourself in some way, shape or form. No, people do not talk the way that we write. It's a mess.
A lot like him.
A lot like him.
He is.
I'm literally whispering.
Hey.
I'm so embarrassed to be recording this video. I'm literally whispering.
Leo. He is extremely sloppy, which is why there's sort of rubbish all throughout his house.
Nada.
Very active.
That's a great observation, T.
Kind of nice, but then also not really that nice. I like to think of it in that. Don, you know what? At the end of the day, he looks out for number one. I think any more nice points, and he would have to start worrying about how other people were feeling in his life. But out of 4, he looks out for number one. The Donster, the man himself.
The Donster. Okay, sure, T. This video was so slowly paced, I get why it was on 1.15 speed, right? Just get to the point, T. I mumble heaps in the early days. Yeah. And it's funny because some of this I worked on, like I actively worked on putting more expression into my voice as I was filming, saying less, saying less, not doing the thing. But a lot of it was just that I was feeling so awkward at the time, particularly in these first couple of videos. As I said before, I filmed all of these all at once. Probably the first, 3 or 4 episodes I filmed before I'd edited anything or released anything on YouTube. So a lot of the feedback that I was getting, it took a while to actually be able to bring that into the series, into the YouTube videos, or even a lot of the feedback that I got just from myself. It took a while to implement that because, I bulk recorded. I wasn't even sure if I was going to upload the videos because I was so embarrassed, so yeah. All right, let's keep going here. Oh, speaking of my dogs.
He looks out for number one.
Just randomly in the background.
The man himself. He currently has a job as an intern, level 4.
That's Skittles and Ruby playing in the background of my video. So, sorry about that.
Missing a few skill points, and I don't know how much further in his career he's going to be able to get, considering he doesn't really seem to be the type to want to learn more skills, particularly. If you read his bio, all it says is...
I think I remember this. I spend a long time in the first round of each family going through their personality in detail, and I'm pretty sure if I was to ever do this again, I wouldn't. I would just put like a summary on the screen, but that's okay. Let's just skip ahead a little bit because, I talk about his character a lot for a long time. Oh no, YouTube, come back. Here we go. Okay, talking about his memories. Wait, what didn't I know happened?
Cassandra, which he wasn't too keen on. Had an affair with the maid and made out with Nina. Basically, he's been hooking up with Kaylin quite a bit, actually. Getting promoted, falling in love. Got rejected for make out with Bella, which is interesting. Got shot by lightning.
I'm sorry for the whispering.
That happened.
Oh, I didn't know he got struck by lightning.
Parents dying, lots of kissing, lots of just life sort of moments.
Lots of kissing, lots of just life sort of moments. I'm really good at commentary.
Yeah, the really interesting thing in Don's past is this rejected for make out with Bella. Bella got denied, and just when it looked like I was going to get some real good loving, ooh snap! Yeah, Bella is. I love Bella Goth. We'll be exploring her story throughout this Let's Play.
Can you guys hear the random screaming in the background right now, by the way? Because it's my husband is playing with Aiden. I'm not sure if that's actually being picked up. You can! Oh, no. Yeah, random toddler noises instead of puppy noises. Oh, how life changes.
He's actually turned on by aliens, which is interesting. And aspirations as what? Pleasant Stars, if you're familiar with.
Oh yes, the aspiration calculator was coming into fashion.
I've borrowed a lot of her
back in 2019 even.
Cindy, if you ever watch this video, I mean it in all respect and love for the way you play. I added up all Don's interest points in my version of the secondary.
Oh, nice little transition there. Look at that. Oh, I had some fun in editing doing that. I probably could have maybe focused on it a little bit more though, or for a little bit longer. Like it sort of just comes on and goes off. Like you gotta pause to actually see what's happening here. Otherwise you miss it. Where's the whoosh sound? I know! I missed out.
So that's actually very interesting.
And this, friends, is why Don Lothario accepted Cassandra's hand in marriage, because I made him a secondary family sim. Lesson learned.
Because I do see Don as, like, a bit of a daddy, you know?
A daddy.
Like I said, he kind of...
Did I really just say that? I can't believe I just said that. I see Don as a little bit of a daddy. Feel a little bit ill. Especially in that voice. Good lord. I think what I meant to say was that he is a good dad. When he becomes a dad, every time I play Don Lothario and he has a kid, he's actually quite a devoted father.
The few times that I've had Don become a father...
Oh, so here we go. Now I'm getting to it.
And he actually loves it. So,
yeah. See, now I'm making the point that I was actually going to make before.
Yeah, so he is now a secondary family sim, which could create some interesting triangles. And interesting conflicts of interest, I guess you could say.
I think the word I was looking for there was just dynamics. But it's sometimes really hard to think of the word that you're trying to think of while you're recording and streaming. Like, really difficult sometimes. My mind just goes blank and I'm like, I know there's a word for this, but I can't think of it. So I'm going to say 3 other sentences that kind of come close, but actually don't quite hit the bar. Anyway.
Now, before it unfortunately went away because I hit play pause too many times, but before there was actually a pop-up about Don inviting over Nina Caliente, which is also in his wants bar. So that's going to be the first thing we do after we just use the bathroom real quick.
Okay, so it takes me 16 minutes and 45 seconds to hit play. Again, if you guys found me and subscribed to me from this series, thank you very much. I don't know why.
I don't care. Hello, Tiffany Zerubin. You know what, darling? You're going to be one of the first residents in the Pleasantly Retirement Village.
And she was. I'm pretty sure she's actually dead now.
You're welcome.
R.I.P. Tiff.
For Kaylin to clean up, because Don was still a cat. And he's going to invite over his lovely neighbour, Nina.
It's interesting in this first episode. Does anyone know when you start Pleasant View, is Kaylin already his maid, or are you supposed to hire her? Because I remember as I was playing through this episode of Dawn, I was confused that Kaylin didn't automatically rock up to clean his house. Yo, you are supposed to hire her? Oh, okay. Right. Because I was expecting her to be there automatically. I must have gotten Don's household confused with the Pleasant household where she is there automatically.
Right, I will. You bet she will. Let's get one of those files and save it all the time. Just to impress this gardening club lady. He's like, yeah, I can take care of flowers. You wanna hook up in my hot tub? And I might just really quickly or something like that.
Don can do better than Tiffany Zerubin.
I don't actually think Don would do it.
Oh, gosh. Look at the default replacements I've got for Nina's pants.
This place is a mess. You should hire a maid.
Okay, there we go.
Right now. Maybe after Nina leaves.
There's that prompt to hire a
Something you might
maid.
notice about Nina is that her pants aren't different. I do have a lot of default
Oh, good. I draw attention to the pants.
replacements with my clothing in the game, and Nina's pants are one of these I've got default place. Unfortunately, we're going to have to find a new one because this one's not great.
Zoom right up on her butt. I will say, let's just skip to a different point in this video. I will say there are a lot more and better options nowadays in 2025 for default replacements for The Sims 2 than there were in 2019. She's got a builder's crack, yeah. Plumber's crack is what I would call it, but yes.
These two, they're pals.
They're pals.
Good to see ya.
I don't know about pals.
And they are so into each other.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh.
That's gonna be a fun animation. Go away, Tiffany.
Stop whispering, it's weird.
That I always do for my things. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna pause real quick. Wait a second.
Okay, so this would be another good moment to cut out of the video.
Yes,
Beth,
battery.
you could just
Beautiful.
cut,
Ta-da.
do what you're trying to do, and then start the action again.
Clear off Tiffany.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah!
We're gonna do
And
it.
in classic Pleasant View fashion, the first episode always has Nina and Dina. I mean, sorry, not Nina and Dina. Nina and Don hooking up in a hot
First
tub.
one. Good job, Don.
What's he doing? Is he serving some food? Let's just skip ahead a bit.
Let's do that. What's going on? Play Red Hands, sure. Call to meal.
I'm bored.
You go play.
Get to the action, come on.
See, this is just awkward, Don. Like, why have you got your house set up like this? Or I could just go in and buy another chair. How much are these chairs?
Why am I including this in the video?
$500. There you go. Have another chair, Don. You're welcome. Something I will be doing throughout the Let's Play is, of course, renovating the lot slightly and changing them up a little bit.
Yes.
This tile, I hate it.
I do still hate this tile.
Hate it.
It's like, I like, you know, herringbone, but
That's my
not
thing
that
too,
herringbone.
Oh dear. So into each other. Alright, let's.
You've already
go
said
in,
that,
turn
love.
that on.
Yeah.
And let's get down.
That high-pitched whine is really getting to me. I'm so sorry for anyone
Well,
who
yeah,
is
just continue
watching
to
this video with headphones on.
You're a doll.
You're a doll. And cut.
Yeah, we are not.
Yeah, my videos nowadays are definitely a lot more choppy with like action, 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 action. Should I go back to this more slower pace? I don't know. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Do you guys miss this more slower pace, chill ASMR Tea Addict? Because I don't do this anymore. It's boring. Definitely my current content. I think like there's a place for this kind of. There's a way to do a slower pace, but not like this. Like. There's this YouTuber I watch, Lena Lasagna, who does Sims 3 videos, and she'll just put in little, like, snippets of the world or, like, the Sims doing a certain animation or the environment and surroundings, just randomly, like, in her videos, and I would call that, like, a slower pace but still more entertaining, I guess, because it's more, like, it's a framed shot and it's set up really nicely, and, yeah.
Switch this to... R&B.
Oh goody, now there's background music as well. Just competing with my voice.
Oh yeah, like I saw a rat the other day. And an elephant. Doesn't mean it's a zoo. Don's like, yeah. Elephants are so cool.
I do still do this. I try to make up conversations based on their speech bubbles, and it's always interesting to see what comes out.
Sorry about that. There was somebody ringing a bell right outside my house.
That jump cut for no reason, like with the swipe and everything. You do hear the bell.
Sorry about that.
See, I could have just cut and moved on, and it wouldn't have mattered. But I
that's where I'm from.
Instead.
16.
See, I think yeah, my skins don't look that bad. I don't hate them.
So sorry if you guys can hear that.
That is very random.
I wonder if that's like a family. Oh no, yeah, he's engaged. He's fine. Never mind.
He's literally got that massive engagement ring on his finger. And then we have the woohoo cutscene. Fun fact, back in the day in 2019, you could include Sims 2 cutscenes in your videos and you wouldn't get demonetized. Nowadays, too risque for YouTube. YouTube's like laws and censorship rules have gotten a lot harsher in the last 6 years, that is for sure. YouTube is a real prude. YouTube, if you're watching this, you're a prude.
Yes.
I wonder if even, see there you could start to see, wait, if we go back a second, you can sort of see Don's shiny, shiny chest and abs. And his body hair was actually part of the custom skin as well, which is interesting. Like the skin came with body hair. This wasn't like a body hair overlay box, the sort of thing I would use now.
Alright, so we're gonna apparently go and serenade.
Here we go, hide Kaylin.
How about we actually just kind of...
Okay, so what else do I actually do in this episode?
A romantic hug. Because we're
Anything?
Say goodbye.
Oh, the strut.
Oh, that strut. I love that strut. I love when the Sims do that.
I think some people mod out that stride of pride, but I always think it's funny.
It's just, you know, anytime you want to come over, you're feeling a little randy, you know, hook me up, just call me up, and hook up. See you later, babe. Ooh, she says, yeah, it's a big mood, girl. That's a big mood.
Oh, this was back in the day where big mood was a thing. I still say big mood because I'm old, but yeah, that's not really a thing anymore.
Use bathroom here. Oh my god, this chick is still here. Why?
Are you gonna...
Answer the phone.
Just a super random pause, long pause in the video. Just me deciding if I'm gonna answer the phone or not. Okay. You're old and you've never said big mood. Okay, look. Back in the day, I was running the Hungry Jacks that I used to run, and I was working with teenagers, okay? So my lingo, even as how old was I 6 years ago? Even as a 27-year-old, I spoke like a 17-year-old because I worked with 17-year-olds. They kept me young. I was very hip with the trends and the lingo. So hip that I use the word hip, obviously. So that is why my language in these videos is sometimes a bit, yeah. Anyway.
Hello? Oh! So I kind of saw you in your hot tub today with my sister. What is up with that?
What is that voice?
Nah, these one even in love. Oh! Do you want to go downtown? You know what? I feel like Don would absolutely.
Did they go downtown? I don't remember this.
Gorgeous girl. Where do we both look so? Do we have time just for a quick snack?
That's a little weird because now I say gorgeous girl to my 1.5-year-old child. So it's a little weird to think about the phrase gorgeous girl in conjunction with Dina. Oh, it crashed. Oh, that would make sense.
Content bug testing was I was actually going to edit the downtown lots a little. And I totally forgot. No. That's right, we'll have to make do.
There's a very Australian no. I know that Australians apparently say no really weird. No.
Yeah, so we're gonna head downtown. All things going well, I will see you when we get there.
Oh, the sad trumpet soundbite. What a classic. I should put more funny sound bites in my videos, I think. Great soundbite.
Actually, because of my community time project mod, it saves.
There, I did it like together. Did you? Wait, I'm pressing the wrong pause button. I went, I try very hard not to do that anymore.
He might cook, actually. He wants to gain skill points. He's feeling inspired. Not that he can cook like anything. Let's have a pizza.
Just pick something. Okay. Right, so do I actually do anything else interesting in the remainder of this video, or does he literally just sort of eat
sweetie.
and go to bed?
Pizza, and then we can have some ice cream. How about that?
I do still talk to my Sims like they are my children.
Oh,
yes, the fridge menu was very cluttered.
So
Okay, we've spent like 3 minutes eating pizza. I think we probably could have skipped through this. Okay, so he stargazes for a while, and then he goes to bed. And that's literally the end of the video. Oh!
I feel like if Don's parents and grandparents are still alive, they would be the real, like, the real mamas who are always pushing, you know, to get a woman in their life done. If I could do a good Italian accent, I would try to imitate what I can imagine his mum and his grandma sounding like. Sometimes I can do it.
That's me stirring my tea.
Really
Ding, ding,
right
ding.
Now. Anyway, so that is basically as much as I'd like to play with Don this time round. In the future,
The music is so loud.
That cover a week in my Sims life.
First episode's incredible. Let's watch more.
That
Yeah.
makes it so that my Sims are alive for a lot longer.
So we just talk for the next
if I feel like it,
couple of minutes, and then do I have an outro on this first ever video?
Will live for a really long time. So in the future, when I play Family, I will probably play them for a week. And
A week? Gosh, yeah. Good luck.
However many episodes.
2-hour episodes, anyone?
But just for now, as the first episode, just one day in the life of Don Lothario is sort of all I really wanted to cover. So this is what we're going to leave him. Sleeping. Oh, look at his face. Sleeping so peacefully in his bed.
I really do ramble a lot. That's why I'm so good at streaming, right?
With him. But for now, I'm going to save. And I'm sorry that we didn't get to see Don go downtown because that was really annoying and unfortunate. But I'm going to save and exit and leave it
The dogs are playing on the floor, and there's a lot of weird background noise.
there for today.
Oh, and that's it. I'm gonna leave it there for today. Bye. Oh, Simscribe. I remember I thought that was cute. I'd be like, please subscribe for more. Wow, well, that was an experience. As I said, if you subscribe to me during this series, thank you very much. This video has 13,971 views. I wonder how many people, subscribe to me after watching this. Thank you if that was you. I know, I have 8,000 subscribers. Amazing. No, that was fun. I enjoyed that. So if you haven't watched my Pleasant View series before, you should totally give it a watch. I think the quality of the videos improves around about episode 4 or 5. I know my audio quality improves around episode 6. I think it's this episode with the Dreamers.
Read a mechanical book.
Yeah, I've actually got decent audio there, so that's something very good. And yeah, I'm pretty sure the frame rate and everything improves fairly quickly. So yeah, if you haven't watched that, check it out. It's a very long, fun series. Just the first episode's a bit crap. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed this very fun look back at my first ever Sims 2 video. As I said, I have learned a lot in the last 6 years, and I'm very excited that I have improved my video quality somewhat, hopefully. And that, yeah, the channel has grown to what it is today. So thank you all very much for your support if you have been supporting me since the early Sims 2 Pleasant View days. And I guess, yeah, now is as good a time as any to officially announce that soon, very soon, The Sims 2 Pleasant View will be coming back for a season 2. So if you don't know, what happened to my Sims 2 Pleasant View save is that basically it got corrupted and it became unplayable or unloadable. The hood had a lot of issues. The family trees were all broken. Certain Sims had been duplicated or in some cases tripled. There were 3 of some Sims. The hood was completely broken. It was unloadable. It was unplayable. It got horrendously corrupted. But I always had the save, and I am currently working on rebuilding it, and then we will hopefully be rebooting Pleasant View for a season 2. So that was why I kind of wanted to come in and react to this first ever video and give you guys a heads up that, hey, season 2 is coming. It's going to be a lot of fun. My video quality will be better right from the start. And if you haven't seen the Pleasant View series, I would recommend catching up. I will, of course, summarize everything in the first episodes and let you guys know what happened, but there are a lot of very, very funny, very iconic moments in that Pleasant View series, so it's worth a watch, maybe, if you just feel like having something on in the background while you're doing your housework or study or something. I don't know. Just don't focus on it too much for the first couple episodes. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would be very grateful if you could leave a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, so consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell, and that way you will get a handy dandy notification when the first episode of season 2 releases. So, you know, that'll be great. I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your week. Take care. Bye for now.